So good morning, everyone. We'll begin with the reflections on universal well-being. May I abide in well-being, in freedom from affliction, in freedom from hostility, in freedom from ill will, in freedom from anxiety, and may I maintain well-being in myself. May everyone abide in well-being, in freedom from hostility, in freedom from ill will, in freedom from anxiety, and may they maintain well-being in themselves. May all be released from all suffering, and may they not be parted from the good fortune they have attained. When they act upon intention, all beings are the owners of their action and inherit its results. Their future is born from such action, companion to such action, and results will be their home. All actions with intention, be they skillful or harmful, of such acts they will be the heirs. So today we'll continue to follow River Heng Sure and Dharma Master Heng Chao, or Marty, on their pilgrimage up the California coast, taking a bow after every 3 steps. 3 steps and a bow. And so this entry is connected with our theme for this next 3-month retreat, which is on renunciation or letting go. So this entry is by Reverend Heng Sure, March 27th, 1978, titled Another Kind of Poverty. When I was a graduate student, it made sense to race like an ant in file from Monday to Sunday, cramming every minute with words and ideas, making classes, meeting deadlines, gobbling 3 meals a day, keeping up with world news, scanning the theater openings in the New York Times, jogging in the pre-dawn mist of the Berkeley Hills, finishing the day with a pitcher of beer at the tavern, then falling asleep at the desk, head down in the dictionary. Nobody pointed out that this was a bitter life. With fine foods, clothes, shelter, and companions, had every sense stuffed full, every need gratified. So why was I so miserable, unhappy, and dissatisfied? Because, this is in quotes, enduring suffering ends suffering. Enjoying blessings exhausts blessings. Living an undisciplined bohemian life sounds like freedom, like cause for liberation of the spirit. Instead, the opposite is true. Glutting the senses inflames the mind of greed. Indulging in desires increases them. The Tao Te Ching, number 12. The 5 colors confuse the eye. The 5 sounds dull the ear. The 5 tastes spoil the palate. Excess of hunting and chasing makes minds go mad. Products that are hard to get impede their owners' movements. Buddhism teaches the principle of reversal, turning back from what the mundane world enjoys and knowing contentment with our inner resources. Living the good life is knowing when to quit. Sufficiency is genuine wealth. Too much is just another kind of poverty. Lao Tzu said, "To be content with what one has is to be rich." An old monk once told us, "No matter what it is, I feel I have enough of it already." In the light of this proper view, my undisciplined life seems bitter indeed. Greed is poison. The spirit of life dies. Reducing desire and knowing contentment brings rare satisfaction, deep peace of mind. So Heng Sure is on his bowing pilgrimage where he said every day they're doing the same thing. Get up in the morning, doing morning chanting, meditation, some exercises, and off they are on the road bowing. 3 steps and a bow. And what are their possessions? Not much. Barely enough food to sustain themselves. A little altar in the car, and the car is their shelter. They don't even have a place to lie down, so they sleep sitting up. And you can see their most treasured possession is on River Heng Sure's back, in his little backpack, the Avatamsaka Sutra. He carries it as he bows. 3 steps and a bow, completely silent. And you can imagine River Heng Sure at that time just living this very austere life and reflecting on his life before, with friends, with food, with drink, with lots of clothes, theater, entertainment, and all the things that oftentimes we think make our life meaningful and fun. And he reflects, gosh, somehow living life with almost nothing is so much more joyful than living life with everything. So our experience, I think, in our lives here in this world is tricky because we're not used to getting this message. The message that we hear is mostly the more the better. Right? If we turn on the TV or right now search on the internet or turn on our smartphone, constantly there's ads popping up to get this or that. Or even the way that things are designed now, so that on the smartphone you find out, oh, there's my email and there's a little circle next to it with a number. I'm missing out on 3 messages. I better take a look. They're all having us being hooked out into the world. And on this path of, you could say, renunciation, of letting go, we have to begin to say, I don't need to constantly seek after stimulation. I don't need to know right now, this very moment, what those 3 messages that I didn't see 15 minutes ago are, right, or 30 minutes ago are. Somehow life was okay when I wasn't constantly trying to keep up to date with everything that's going on in real time. I can find a kind of well-being and happiness right here and right now. And this is really a practice now in our current times because we're so overwhelmed by sensory stimulation. Reverend Heng Sure talked with us here at the monastery as a group about renunciation. He talked about material renunciation, right? How the Buddha just gave monks the requisites. Food, which is our alms bowl, where we eat whatever people give. Our clothes, very simple. Whatever people discard, we make into a simple robe. Of course, we wear much more than that now, but we're not looking for style or fashion, right? We don't wake up in the morning thinking, what am I going to wear today? I'm going to wear the yellow robe or the red robe or the brown robe. It's already prescribed. So we just wear the appropriate robe for the day, for the activity. Shelter, we have the monastery. And the Buddha said, I give you the trees, so you can live under the trees. And medicine, what keeps the body going. That's what we basically need for our material existence. Keep it simple. All the additional pieces where in modern marketing we make those into some kind of identity, that our clothes has to express our personality. Our food needs to be super tasty and healthy. Our house needs to, look a certain way to compete or have a kind of status symbol. Our material possessions become a status symbol. Our medicine becomes a lot of things that actually are mostly just distracting ourselves from our life. Of actually not having us really face what's going on, just dealing with things at a symptomatic level. Some pain arises, numb it out. Some discomfort happens, distract ourselves. So in this Dharma, Reverend Heng Sure said, it's not just material things that we have to let go of. It's the way that we use our senses. That our senses is constantly going out, seeking after sights, sounds, smells, tastes, objects of touch, and dharmas. Even thoughts in the mind. That's my particular one I need to really renounce, you could say, is I can get caught up in a thought and I start to ruminate on it, proliferate off of it, and create a whole world out of just a thought. And oftentimes whatever that thought was is just made up by myself, has no real use. And I can even get really attached to my thought and want to defend it, thinking that I'm right or it's a good thing to do, and just starts running off. So in this practice of renunciation, of letting go, it's not just material items, but it's all the senses as well. And this isn't because we're, again, trying to be bitter and suffer. It's because we realize that the more I pursue things outside, the more I feel empty inside. The more I can let go of the need to go out, the fuller, the more content and peaceful I feel inside. And from that inner fullness, I can truly be of service. So one of my vows that I make each day is I vow to dwell in a content and grateful mind. And I actually made this vow very early on as I started practicing, because I realized how much of my mind was dissatisfied and didn't appreciate what I had, rather comparing with what other people had and thinking, how come he has that or she has that? I don't have that. Am I missing out? And so each day I start out the day and I kind of make that kind of firm decision. I'm going to dwell in a content and grateful mind. So I make that choice. So as experience arises, I try to lean towards the side of contentment, lean towards the side of gratitude. And so maybe for all of us today, if we're on this path of letting go, you could say, I invite you, maybe you can find your own vows and aspirations now that the new year is beginning for the Lunar New Year. And I would recommend, if you have a vow that's leaning towards contentment and gratitude, we'll find that there's an inner fullness and happiness that other people can't take away. We don't lose this because it's something that is there already. We don't actually give that away. Okay, so wish everyone a good rest of the day, and we'll do 3 steps, 1 bow. 好，我们来3步1拜。